Welcome again to another episode of Golf Shop After Dark. This week we have Brad Monroe, who is my best friend from home, growing up together. Played on the golf team together in high school, played lacrosse together, played at
Pond
Xbox
hockey.
together, pond hockey together,
Oh yeah.
anything you could think of growing up. He is a extremely talented golfer himself. Plays in a lot of the big amateur events, kind of all across the country now. You're one of those traveling amateurs. Played in two U.S. four balls,
Yep.
state AMs. Played
Yep.
in
State mid-ams.
some state mid AMs, some good four ball events. Um, Actually here in Chicago and in New York. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why we want you on, besides the fact that you're one of my best friends growing up and you were just in my wedding. Uh,
Yep.
so I was gonna say Brad and I met um, pretty much fourth grade, third grade, fourth grade. I
Yeah,
remember
right
seeing
around
you in
that
like a
time.
after school math thing. Um, and then lacrosse, wasn't it?
Yeah, my first real memory of us becoming friends was sixth grade lacrosse.
Sixth grade lacrosse, yeah.
And I don't know if you remember this, but we were practicing at the junior high, and I think it was the summer between sixth and seventh grade. It was the first summer I started playing lacrosse. And we kept singing the song I Miss You by Blink-182. You
Yes.
remember you remember this?
Yes.
And that's what we were doing in between drills, was we were just making sure we knew all the lyrics to it.
Yes.
Yeah, we were just standing there waiting for our turn to go, singing that song and filling in all the pieces. So that was my first. I still remember that.
Oh
That
yeah.
was that was fun.
Speaking of which, they just came out with new album, which is
Yeah, it's
awesome.
good.
Back together. Been
Yep,
crushing
I like
it.
it.
Um
Big part of our childhood, that band.
yeah. Blink, Angels and Airwaves. Oh man,
Punk rock and alternative.
oh yeah, I can remember listening to Love Part One in, I think it was like study hall, maybe senior year. I think it was senior year. Um,
Yeah, that was either senior year of high school or just into college. It was right around that time.
yeah, just on my iPod Touch, or yeah, iPod Touch, just crushing it. I still have
Yep,
my iPod Touch. I go back
yep,
to it and just see songs from time to time.
yeah. Oh man,
I did,
I got a new iPod Touch a couple years ago, so I still do have one. I just kind of use it at the gym, basically,
yeah.
so I don't get my phone all dirty, setting it all over the place.
You were the one who set mine
But
up. You remember that?
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. That was the big thing, man. I think sophomore year of high school, the iPod Touch was like the big new thing.
Yeah.
And I
iTunes.
remember, yep, I remember seeing a kid in my English class had one, and I was like, "Ooh, I really want one of those. That thing's pretty cool."
Yeah.
So I think I got one for Christmas that year.
Play games
But
on it.
oh yeah, it was great. They had a putt putt game, played putt putt, I think, on
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
So
man.
it was nice.
We both, I know this for a fact, we both loved our childhood growing up. I mean,
Yep, for sure.
we talk about it all the time with the sports we played, the friends we had, the area we were in, right? It's not a huge major city, so we could go and do anything and not obviously have our parents worry too much. And we were could go to the course, we could go get some pizza at Nino's, could do
Yep,
all sorts of things.
it was the best, man. We had no real responsibilities. We just got to play sports. We got to play Xbox, and you didn't even have to get your homework done most of the time.
I mean,
so
that was
so I'll
me.
tell yeah, it was you. So I'll tell a quick story for the listeners here. When we were like sophomore year, Call of Duty was the big game on Xbox, and we would play online together with another one of our good friends. And Dan would hop on, and he always told his mom his homework was done, and most of the time it actually wasn't, but he just wanted to play Xbox. So, he's hopping on. And I remember one night your mom caught on to the scheme, and I heard some yelling in the background. And that was,
Did
I
she
think
get
that was
on
the
the
end of that.
microphone?
I don't remember, but I remember she found out one night and that your homework wasn't done, and that wasn't good. So
Oh God, I did just enough.
just enough, man.
I'm not proud of it. If any high schoolers are paying attention, but I did just enough to have like a nice 85 average. Um, what was it? Merit roll and honor roll. I think I was right in
It's
between the
kind of
two,
yeah, just kind of hanging in between.
hanging
Couple
in.
merit rolls, couple honor rolls. Yeah.
Yeah. And you,
Yep.
God, you were taking a lot of AP classes, so you were like
I took a
you were
couple
pounding
senior year,
with
and
homework.
took one. I think I took two senior year and one junior year. But
Yeah.
senior year, I had every other day. I was done at 10:30 for the whole year, and it was. I think it was the peak. It was the greatest thing ever.
On my senior,
So
our senior year, I had on my A and C days, I had study hall, English, study hall, and then the science or gym. I mean, it might have been the greatest. Besides getting up
that is
early, I think I had two classes pretty much.
that's the best. Yeah, every other day I had the two classes. I was done at 10:30, and then I would go to all three lunches because I had friends in all three.
Yeah, I'd go to all three lunch.
Yep, and then I was done.
Oh God, it was the best. Um,
Yep. Yeah, so we did it all. We played all the sports we wanted. We
yeah,
had great friend. We had an awesome friend group.
yeah.
Awesome friend group,
I
and
was,
everyone turned out to do pretty well too so far.
yeah,
So
yeah. Everyone's doing great. People are scattered all over.
yep.
Um, I wouldn't change a thing. Uh,
Nope.
I was just thinking, on the last podcast, I even think I mentioned it. I know you were just watching it. Um, did I get it right that you played on the team in eighth grade first?
Yes,
Was
that
that
was
what
my
it was?
first year.
Yeah, and then because I think in like eighth or ninth grade, we were in the same class. We had like one class together in the junior high. It was like I could picture the classroom too. And I think you were just like, yeah, dude, just come out and play. Like, because I was getting done with soccer.
Yep.
Like, screw it, just come out. And that's when I had gone. I think it was shortly after that. I went to end of the school year. I went down for vacation, got the lesson from Shane, and then I think they're just like, yeah, do it. Let's go. My
Came
first,
back, wanted to play.
yeah. Um, I can remember in
Kick
high school you shooting. Did you shoot 32 on the back nine?
33. That
33.
was uh that was epic because I was just kind of I'd never done that before. And I
Yeah,
was just kind of, making par every hole, and then all of a sudden I made like three 25 to 30 foot putts in a row
yeah,
for birdies on 15, 16, 17. And yeah, so it just kind of happened.
yeah. I remember
Unfortunately, we still
hearing
lost the
it.
match.
Yeah, I don't even
Yeah.
remember who we were playing. Who were we playing then?
We played FM.
Oh,
It was
okay.
junior year. Yep.
Was that didn't they have a kid who had a wooden putter? I
Yeah, it was Tyler Kingsley.
Yes, I can remember playing against him. I don't think I was
Yep.
in the group with you that round, but I remember being in with him one
He
round.
he he was who I played with when I shot the 33.
Yeah, I wonder what he's up to. He was a good
So
player too.
yeah, that
We
was cool.
we had quite a few good players in that like three
We
years.
did. We just had a lot of inconsistency as a
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
We had guys that could shoot 36, but they could also shoot 42.
yeah,
So some matches we were really good, and then other matches, Didn't go
Yeah.
so well for us.
Was it our senior year that um, it was just us two going to Seven Oaks and our coach was like, just drive yourself down for a practice round?
Yes.
It was
So,
just
well,
us two.
I think we had one or two other teammates, but you and me went down there on Monday. Tournament was Thursday. We went down on Monday for the practice round. That was so much fun. It was a wicked nice night,
Cas
and
pizza
it's
on the
so
way
peaceful.
home
Kaz Pizza, and it's so peaceful on that course. Oh my gosh.
is
And then we both, yeah. So I remember that senior year, you had the shoulder injury,
yes,
and
I was
you
out
you missed.
most of
Yeah,
the
you missed a
season.
couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
then you came back in time for sectional qualifiers and got it done at Green Lakes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that was
was
good.
so cold. Every time I think of sectional qualifiers, I think of how cold it was. It was either the junior year or the senior year that it was like raining, windy, and then it turned into snow for like a couple holes.
The
I mean,
junior year was really cold. The senior year was the rainy, windy one.
yeah.
Because I'll never forget this. So there was I won't name names, but there was a player on Rome who was a good player, and he was extremely quiet, like very rarely said anything. And I was playing with him senior year sectional qualifier, and through 8 holes, I think I was even par in like just horrendous weather, right? And I just remember on the ninth tee box, he looks at me and he goes, "There can't be anyone within 8 shots of you right now." It's like one of the first things I've ever heard him say. I didn't know how to respond.
Yeah. It was
I was like, yeah, it's going pretty good right now. So
and it was a brutal day.
it was.
If I recall correctly, it was live clean in place anywhere.
I think so.
And I think on my last hole of the day, I think I had to play, it was a par five, number 10.
Yeah,
Because I think I started right behind you on nine. You started on one.
started on one.
No, where would that put me?
You started on 11 then.
11. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And finished on 10. And I think I remember telling you, like, I knew where I stood. And
Yep.
I like because I could lift clean in place, and I did it in the rough. And I skied my hybrid shot and had to get up and down. I think
Yeah.
like almost too perfect.
I think you made it with a shot to spare though. I don't think you made it on the number. I think you had
I
one
did.
shot of cushion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I did. I that could have been it could have been very bad though.
Yeah.
Like not using the rule to my advantage at that point.
Yep. Well, we were young,
Yeah.
happens.
Oh,
Everyone fluffs it too much once, at least once with look clean in place.
yeah. I can. Oh man, thinking back at how little knowledge we knew of
Yeah.
of playing anything in golf. Um,
I mean, up to my senior year in high school, I had never seen my swing on video. I had never gotten a proper fitting,
yeah.
and I didn't have the right clubs for me. And I did my long game wasn't very good. It was okay. I mean, I hit it straight, but I didn't hit it very far.
Hmm.
Didn't have a lot of different ball flights. Everything was kind of one trajectory. But my short game was good and I putted good. So I kind of,
Yeah.
you know, made some good scores on high school course setups. So
Yeah. I
but
mean,
that's a lot different today for both of us. But yeah, that's what it
yeah.
was at the time.
Yeah. It's wild to think back. Even I know you brought this up. Yeah. Texted it yesterday. Even thinking back to my player's ability test for the PGA,
Yes, we gotta tell
like
that story.
how raw I still was
It
as a was I think my junior year.
was junior year. It was 2012.
Yeah. Yes, 2012. I took it,
It was the fall of 2012.
and luckily my first and only time taking it. Not that looking back on it, it's not that hard of a tournament, but people get so psyched out
Yeah.
because it just
The hurdle is the mental part, knowing that I have to pass this to advance my career. That can freak you out.
yeah. Um,
Because the course setup, looking back, I mean, it's middle pins. You're not even playing the tips. I don't think
no,
it's set up for you to.
yeah,
Yeah, it just wants to make sure that you can get it around basically.
yeah. Um, yeah, that was my junior year, and you came in to caddy for me, and
Yep. So
I
yep.
go ahead.
Yeah. So you were at Delhi, the only college in New York State that offered the PGM major, professional golf management. So it was perfect.
Yep.
That's not even what you went there for. As you talked about. Oh, you know what? That was at your wedding. Never mind. That wasn't in
It,
one of the
it was at my
episodes.
wedding. I originally went to school for art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And then you switched at I think it was semester in.
It was
Anyways,
actually
so
it was my sophomore year.
second year. Okay.
Yep.
Anyway, so you're there for PGM. I'm going to Syracuse University at the time, and so I'm coming down, caddying, PAT. I'm all fired up. So I get there. First time learning about the stupid one seat rule, where the caddy and the
Yeah.
player, one of
Can't.
you has to ride, but you both can't ride. So I
Yeah.
can't carry your bag. I'm all fired up to do all the caddy stuff. I want to carry the bag. I want to wipe the clubs. I want to do all this.
Yep.
So you have to ride. I have to walk. The bag's on the cart. I got the towel around my neck, right? So I'm still doing some stuff. Anyway, so
I
you
think
par the
the
first
kid in my
hole.
group drove the cart mostly, and we walked.
He did.
Yeah.
Yep. I think his name was Shane too.
Yep. He
And he
was the
kept hitting.
nephew of a member I had in Massachusetts. Come to find out.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Another
Yeah,
story.
and he hit that 2 iron off the tee all day and he was piercing it. It was nice.
Uh,
Yeah. So
but
so anyway, so you get out of the gate, you par one. It's a nice par. You hit it down the middle off the tee. You hit it to, I don't know, I think it was 15, 20 feet. Nice two putt. Good start,
Bobby.
right? Get the nerves under control.
Yep.
Then you proceed to bogey 6 holes in a row.
Yeah.
And I remember, so there was a little bit of a walk from the seventh to the eighth hole, right? There's a little distance there.
Yep.
And I remember like almost just getting in your face because you were making some really timid, scared
Oh yeah.
swings and chips and things like that. Very
On
nervy, right?
on three,
Which I,
I had like a 10-yard chip, and I like hit it 10 feet. Like it was.
yeah, I barely got on the green. And I
Yeah.
was just like, what is he doing? And so, anyway, so I remember from 7 to 8, I gave you a nice pep talk. I was like,
More
I
than a
was like,
pep talk.
yeah, I was like, what am I watching right now? What are we doing here? So,
Don't get
anyways,
my shit together.
yeah. So you're 6 over through 7, but here's the great part of the story. You end up shooting 78 in the first round. So you
Yeah.
went even par the last 11 holes.
Yeah.
So
It
we're
was
like, all right, we got some momentum here.
it was the butt kick I need. I think we parred the next hole, and then we went out, and I think we shot even on the back.
Was
Um,
that the round you made the birdie on 9, or was that round 2?
that was the first night. Actually, yes, that was the first 18 because
Okay.
I got up to we parred 8, and we were like, okay, we stopped the bleeding. 9,
Yep.
we get up there, and at the time we were into the Jason Duffner slow walk, if you remember this.
Yeah.
And I was walking fast, and you're like, dude, slow down, Jason Duffner it for a minute. And I was like, I can't slow down that much, but I'll slow down. It was a par five, got on in 3. I think I had like a 15-20 footer. Wasn't anything like super close.
No,
And
definitely. It was more like 25 the way I remember
was
it.
it 2025? I
Yeah.
It was front. I was in the front part of the green. The pin was middle depth wise and a little to the right. And I kneeled down to read it. And as soon as I did, I said, I have it, or I got it, something like that. Um, got up and just drained it. And we were fired up going on to the next, on to 10, which was another par five. If I recall correctly, I actually think I bogeyed. Did I bogey or par 10?
I
Either
don't
way,
remember, but you ended up shooting one over on the back, and it was solid after the
yeah.
start to shoot 78.
After the start I had,
Yeah,
um,
and I think you need to shoot like what 156. So all you had to do was shoot another 78, and it was like, all right, well, you're hopefully not going to get off to that start again. So it was
yeah,
encouraging. We felt good in between rounds. We were like, all right, we got momentum now. We got that over with.
I think we were able to
So
hit a few more balls, right?
yep.
And then I think I proceeded to bogey 1 and 2 on the next round.
I actually don't remember.
All I know, I think I did. I got off to another bad start. Not as bad as the
Not nearly as bad.
no, it was like the first
You
couple.
you you shot two or three over on the front. I
Yeah.
don't think you shot any more than three over on the front at worst. It was two or three over.
And then the back nine, we had some momentum going. The whole group had momentum going.
Yeah, that's always big.
There was a dad in the group watching, and he kept saying, "Come on, guys, let's make birdies." Like it felt like a weird thing because normally you're not rooting for the other people.
Yeah, this is the one thing you're actually not playing against them. You just have to shoot a number.
Yep.
So
And I think we got to the par three 14th, and we all hit the green. I think we all
down the hill. Yep.
down the hill. We're grinding away, and we get to 16.
Hold on. No, 14. I remember this now. So at this point in the round, I'm like, I said to you on 14, I was like, so you're gonna try to draw this or fade it a little? And you go, I don't really know where the ball's going. I'm just gonna aim at the pin, and I that way I have room on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you telling me you're like, I don't know where it's going, so I'm just gonna aim straight, and I got room. So you ended up hitting a good shot. I think it was like a little fade, but it was like maybe 15, 18 feet from the hole.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was funny though. I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, we we get to mind you. So Delhi's course had a lot of in-course out of bounds,
Yeah.
which sucked. And
No one likes that.
anyway, so we get to 16 and I just blow it right. And I'm behind a tree with a swing and room
In a
and
window.
in a window. And if I try and hook one to the green, so I flare it, we have a window, we have room, but and if I in order to hit the green, I have to hook one, like
Pretty
third
big.
hook,
Yeah.
or I could punch out. Um, Behind the green is in course out of bounds and a little bit to the right of the green. Like, and we just said, let's do it. Let's go for it. And I hit this hook around the tree and I kind of did that little Sergio run to the fairway thing. And I lost the ball and I just said, where is it? Or how is it? Or something like that. And you go, it's great. Or you said, no, you said, just watch. I think I texted you that. And
Yeah.
it comes down onto the back of the green. I think I still had like a 30 something footer, but I was able to two putt for par. Um,
But just to hit the green was an awesome shot.
yeah. And I
And I
think,
think you were four over in the round at the time because you finished par birdie and shot 75.
yeah. And
So this was a big moment. Like if you would have hit it out of bounds, you would have been in some serious trouble. Not to mention you would have been really nervous and really feeling it after that.
yes.
Because then you're making double and now you're on the number.
And now that I am talking about it, I actually forgot there was out of bounds there. And you were the one that didn't say, you said you didn't say a word because you didn't want me to
Yep.
think about it.
Didn't want the fear. Yeah, I didn't want the fear in your head.
And it was probably one of my clutch shots of even my career still. Like it
Yeah.
was an
It's huge.
awesome hook. Uh,
Yep. And then you remember, so you par that, so 17, you're still four over, short par four. I think it's like 310 yards or something. It's not long.
yeah.
And you're gonna hit hybrid off the tee. And I just remember you chunked it so bad, and it probably went like 150 yards.
Yep. Yep. And
And
then
I think you had like 8 iron in on a 310 yard hole.
and I came up short because of the wind.
Yep.
And I had to chip up and get up and down.
Yep. What you did. Chipped
Eight,
it to like 3 feet.
yep. 18 is it's a par five dog leg left. It's coming out of a chute with trees left, trees and a creek right or river right. So it's hazard right. Then the in course out of bounds starts to come in on the back part of the dog leg for the range, and then in course out of bounds on the left until it gets to this tree that's at the corner of the dog leg. Proceed to hit a power draw, we'll call it, near the tree, and then we
Yep.
hacked it down, and then proceed to hit a wedge shot to about that far.
The
And
wedge shot you'll never forget.
as soon as as soon as I hit it and we started walking, you're just like, nice shot. And I just go, I chunked it.
Yep.
Best chunk of
soon
your
as it's
life.
soon as it stopped moving and it was like a foot, you were like, I chunked it. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, good thing.
And you're like, you're gonna go
Oh
tap it in,
man.
right? No, I'm marking that.
Yeah, and you marked it.
Yeah.
Which was a good idea in hindsight. You just clean the mud off the ball if there was any. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It was
but
fun.
yeah, so you shot 75. You ended up passing it right there, first try. It was awesome.
It was quite the experience though. And looking back on it, it's like, what were any of the nerves about? Uh,
Yeah, because even if you didn't make it, you can try again and again and again. But you want to do it on your first time though. It makes it cool.
oh yeah, I wasn't gonna start the program because that's a pre-qualifier for the PGA, and I wasn't gonna start the program unless I had passed it. I was like, why put more pressure on myself for a timeline? Um,
Right.
but yeah, that was quite the show. But yeah, I mean, I've caddied for you in two
Couple times.
mid-am qualifiers. One at
Yeah. I think back to
78.
back, 2018 and 19.
Yeah, God, we played so much golf growing up together, and then the last 10 years, we've played very little golf together.
When's the last time we played an 18-hole round together?
18 hole. I mean, we played not. Oh, the pro at
Yes,
Enfield
twenty
Country.
twenty at Penfield. Yep.
Yep.
And other than that, you got to go back to like the mid 2010s.
Yeah. You. Yeah. It was college, like somewhere.
It's so sad. We played together every day when we were
Yeah.
growing up.
You were a member at Cannon Valley Country Club, and then
Yep. Of course, I kind of grew up at with my family. Yep.
they had a student membership, so I decided to get one there, and we'd just go out and just play.
Yep.
I
It's about a 25-minute drive from where we lived. It's
yeah.
right down one road. It's great.
I wish we knew what to practice when we
I
practice.
know.
It's amazing. It is amazing. I mean, there were instructors and teachers when we were growing up, but it seems like in the last say 15, well, 10 years, it's boomed with how many kids grow up learning what to do, when to do it, plans and all this stuff. So it's amazing to be so out of it while we were
Hmm.
growing up.
Yeah,
But
I didn't start getting lessons until the summer between my sophomore and junior year of high school.
yeah,
And even then, I was still playing hockey and not really practicing that much. And,
yeah.
just wasn't full bore, and I look at some of the high school kids around here today that I play against in the local tournaments, like just how far ahead of me
Oh yeah.
they are. Like when I was their age, like they're miles ahead of me. Some of them.
Yeah.
There's a few really good ones that have gone through here, and there's one still in high school that's really good. So, and he's just so far ahead of where I was at that age.
Yeah. It's amazing. I used to think about honestly, it's kind of strange to say. I used to think about that a lot, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what am I? Don't think about that stuff. Go and I've got tournaments to play in, so
Right.
don't dwell on like the junior senior year wishing you knew more. Um,
Yep.
you still have goals, I'm sure, of you want to play in the mid-am. I know that for sure.
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of golf is like even when you're our age, and neither of us played Division I college golf, but there's still so much for us to play for. I mean, you're professional, I'm amateur, and we both have a ton that we can play in that's meaningful.
Yeah.
So that's what's awesome. And yeah, I mean, for sure, I definitely want to make a U.S. mid am. I was an alternate this year. I came pretty close.
Yeah.
Made a couple bogeys coming down the stretch, and it cost me. I
That
had enough. I just couple bogeys down the stretch.
that would have been that would have been one of the best mid-ams to qualify for.
No question about it. And I knew that.
To be at Sleepy Hollow.
And,
I
and it
mean,
wouldn't even be a lot of travel either. It would have been a car
yeah,
ride, no plane, no rental car.
you would have
Probably the best. Yeah, probably
seen
the
time
best
zone.
logo of any course.
Yeah.
Yep.
You wouldn't have had to adjust any time zone stuff. The
Nope.
that is one of my still top three favorite golf courses.
Yeah, you guys were talking about it in the first episode,
Yeah,
you and Billy.
it is
And
unbelievable.
yeah, and their logo is unbelievable. The headless horseman. You just can't beat it.
Classic. It's such a classic logo.
So yeah, so yep. So close this year, not quite. I think that's probably I would say that's my number two goal right now. My number one goal is to win a state mid am,
Yeah,
which I have not come close to that yet. But my finishes are getting better each year. I mean, this year, Billy Haynes won it on his home course, Cragburn. He just played unbelievable. I mean, he just blew the field out. So that wasn't.
I saw that.
I did not. I don't know. I don't know who was beating him that week because that course played so hard, and he was 7 under par for 3 rounds. And I mean, third place was +4. You know what I mean? There was a really big gap between basically him and the field.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
hats off to him. He played unbelievable.
yeah. I you sent me
But
the
anyways, so yeah, yep. So I mean, last year at Seven Oaks, I was in the final group for the third round. I think I was only 3 or 4 shots back going into it, and the
Mhm.
putter just went ice cold. And um, if I putted good that day, I might have been able to make a little bit of a run. I don't know if I would have won, but I could have been up there, at least putting some
Yeah,
pressure on him on the back nine, maybe.
yeah.
But yeah, putter was just ice cold, made nothing.
I
So
mean, New York, just like Illinois, I mean, New York has some really good players. A lot of
yep,
them coming from the Met section or the Western New York section in the Buffalo and Rochester area, and a lot of good players. So,
yeah, there was State and this year was a really good field, really good.
where was it at?
I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, but Waikegel
Oh,
down in
Wickago.
New Rochelle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wickago.
that's how you say it.
Yep,
Yep.
that's a great course. I think
Oh my God, of course is awesome.
if I if I'm correct, that's where I caddied for Greg, my college roommate, um,
Yep.
for the U.S. Open qualifier in 2012.
Yep. I remember you telling me about that too, caddying for him.
Yeah, that was a blast.
Course is spectacular.
Yeah,
We got a ton of rain the night in between the practice round and the first round, so it really softened the greens up, and they're all like back to front, multiple tier. So it was
yeah,
so hard to control the spin. You had to club up and punch everything so it didn't rip.
yeah.
But by the fourth round, they firmed up a little, but they were so fast that fourth round. I mean, they were just lightning fast.
It's a beauty.
Okay, so yeah, so to kind of wrap up this mid am talk, I'll tell a quick story about my first career tee shot in the New York State mid amateurs, 2018, at Wanaka Country Club in Hamburg, New York, right just southwest of Buffalo, right on Lake Erie,
Hmm.
right near the home of the Buffalo Bills, the favorite team of the podcast host here.
And the Buffalo Sabres.
So and the Buffalo Sabres, yep.
Ah,
So anyway, so I just turned 25. I'm finally mid-am eligible. It opens up a lot of doors when you turn 25 in the amateur world. A lot more to play in. So here we go. I got first mid-am. It is late September. I think my tee time was 7:50 in the morning. We're like the third group off, right? It's cold. There's a lot of dew on the ground. So first hole at Wanaka is a downhill, slight dog leg left. Not it's just more kind of like curves to the left. It's not really a dog leg. But anyway, so you go down the hill where you drive in. So as you drive in Wanaka, you drive up the hill. The first hole is on your right. The second hole is on your left. So you're basically just driving through the golf course to get up to the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
So the first hole tee shot, 7:50 in the morning, glare of the sun, can't really see that well. Hit it down there, blow it out to the right. Kind of going at the cart path, which is the road you drive in on, right? Now there's no hazards, there's no out of bounds, none of this stuff. Okay. Down there, I'm like, all right, we'll find it. So it's in the right rough, might have hit the cart path, whatever. So we go down there, we start looking for it. You got the glare from the sun, you got the grass is all wet from the dew. We're looking. Other than a practice round, it's my first time playing the course. I'm not really sure how far up to look. So this is back when you get 5 minutes to look for the ball. We got like six people looking. There's a spotter over there. We're all looking for the ball. We can't find it. Right. First hole, first shot, lost ball on the golf course. So I go back to the tee.
That's the worst.
I make a bogey on my second ball. I start my career with a triple bogey on the first hole. But then I rally back. I end up shooting 76, par 72. So I shoot one over the rest of the way. I think I made a couple bogeys late too. I rallied back nicely in the middle of the round there. But anyway, so I'm staying with my buddy Kevin, who I play a lot of golf with, and we're driving out. His tee time was right around mine. So we're driving out. Now the sun's out. It's all dry, driving down the road, and we're in between 1 and 2. And I look over and I'm like, stop the car. I get out. I walk over 20 feet to the right of where the road is. I pick up a ball. I hold it up and I show it to him, and it's got my marking on it. There is my lost ball from the morning right there. And I had a shot. I had a window. I mean, I had like a pretty clean up over, and it was like 130 yards. I mean, it would have been bogey at worst,
It's the worst when the spotter can't find it.
Oh my God. I pick up the ball and I'm just like, because I already told him the story, and I'm like, here's my ball. And so I just grab it. We drive out, and I may have screamed out the car a little bit on the way back to the hotel. But anyway, so yeah, that's how my mid-am career started with that debacle. So, and then what's crazy is the 2019 mid-am, I missed the second day cut, didn't play good. 2020, they don't have it because of COVID. 2021, we're at Shaker Ridge out in Albany. The second round, first hole, I hit 3-wood because there's a pond down on the right? And I'm like, 3-wood keeps me short of the pond. Driver brings it in play. So I hit 3-wood. It's not quite as early in the morning, but 2 days earlier, it absolutely poured rain. We're lucky that we even got the first round in. We had to shotgun start 120 guys at 1 o'clock, and we finished in the dark. And it was insane. But it was the only way we could play. So anyway, so the second round, I hit 3-wood. I kind of hit it, just a little cut into the right rough, and there's a spotter literally right there.
Yep.
And it lands. We hear it land. I look at the water. There's nothing in the water. There's no, the ball's not in the water. There's no ruffles or anything. Nothing going on. And so we go down there to start to look for it. And the spotter's like, I heard the ball land. I looked at the water. There was nothing. I know it's not in the water, right? So we start looking for the ball again.
So you can't even drop it. We
can't find it.
Yeah.
No, we can't find it. We bring in like the officials, and I go, guys, I know it's right here, but I don't want to cheat. So do I take the drop here? Do I got to go back to the tee and play lost ball? Like the spotter literally said, it's not in the water. We know it dropped in this area. It's plugged somewhere. And, after some discussion, they're like, you got to go back to the tee. And I'm like, all right. So it happened again. Yeah. And that time I ended up making a double bogey instead of a triple. But I'm like, what is going on here? I'm hitting the ball on the golf course and losing.
we gotta catch some breaks here then.
Oh my God. I know you think I got some built up in this tournament where maybe I'll just, blast one into the trees and it'll kick into the fairway, get a billy bounce.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Brad's dad, Bill Monroe, when we would play golf together, and even when Brad would just play with him, if he would hit it into or near trees, he would miraculously get a ricochet into the middle of the fairway 90% of
100%. I'm gonna say 100% of the time. I've never seen it not happen.
and so
It's
we call them
unbelievable.
Billy bounces. To
Yeah.
this day, I'll still say that, and nobody has a clue, but
Yeah.
the man paid his dues. He paid his dues every month, and
Didn't matter what course we were on, it was happening.
he would get the kicks of a lifetime.
Yep.
Um, Speaking of not getting off to a good start on the first tee, to this day, I still can't believe when I caddied for you at Country Club of Buffalo and one of your playing competitors hit his drive about 50 yards off the tee into a tree, drops down in a tree lined area, hits it up and over, makes par, proceeds to make 17 more pars, 18 pars for the round, and makes the mid am.
Was medalist.
Was medalist. Yep. Couldn't
And
believe
the
it.
and the par putt he made on one was like 20 feet downhill.
Yeah. And just, okay. Just kept going. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a one of the biggest observations I've ever seen. And obviously, never give up. You know all the sayings. But to watch someone just hit it 50 yards off the tee and almost virtually have no shot, regardless of what he made, he could have made double. The fact that he just played that well, the fact that he was able to just continue on like nothing happened was unbelievable at a hard golf course.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, even par medaled, so it played tough that day.
there are areas on that golf course you could get in jail.
Yep. And it's classic Donald Ross greens where
Yeah.
if you're above the hole, it's over. If you're deep, it's basically over. They're back to front. You got the quadrants, and
Do
yep,
they um are they hosting something next year? Or
they had the mid am qualifier this year. That's typically all they do is that one.
I could swore
You know what? I think they have a big ladies event in like 2026 or 27.
yeah, they might. I want to look that up.
I don't know if it's a mid am or if it's an am, but I know they have a big ladies event.
Country Club of Buffalo upcoming. Because I thought I saw they were awarded something. Uh, the I'm gonna find that. I don't think it was a USGA. It might have been a New York State thing, but
But yeah, it might have been a women's state am. That's possible too. I
yeah.
know I know they have a big I don't think I
Do
think
they have
that's what it
this?
was.
Are they getting the senior women's amateur or the senior women's open for the USGA or something like that? I'll have to look it up. But phenomenal golf course.
Yeah, that the volcano hole and the very famous par 3 to 6 that deserves to be shown on a bigger stage.
Yeah, yeah. I can almost. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the description. But they have like something big that's going to be shown.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I saw something. I can't remember what it is at this time.
um, Honestly, the Buffalo area has some amazing country clubs, old
Fantastic.
country clubs. Like I played in the Pro at Park Country Club, another club that's just
Mhm.
beautiful. Clubhouse is
Awesome.
beautiful, course is beautiful. Um, I love my time in Western New York, even
Yeah,
though
clubhouse is like a castle. It's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Um, and what is the tournament that is in like Erie, Pennsylvania? Um, oh, Kevin used to play in it all the time.
Oh, for pros.
Got a big purse.
Yeah. Oh man, what is that one? I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, he was playing it every year.
And it's a
Huge purse for pros.
yeah, it's a national tournament where Western New York PGA gets first crack at it to sign up, and then it
Blaisdell.
oh yeah,
That's the name of the course, Blaisdell.
yep, and it's a ironically it's a pro-am the first day,
Yep.
and then the second day is just one day, winner take all,
Scratch. Yep.
50. It's a 50 grand first prize, and I think one of the guys in Western New York's won it twice. Um, I think it's a par 70. I think
Hmm.
he shot 63 or two or something. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
deep.
that would be a good one to come back and play in.
That is worth traveling for because you could
Yeah.
you could do pretty well if you get a top finish there.
Yeah. And it's uh I remember looking at it and seeing like guys from every section coming into play in it.
Yep.
Um we had a couple guys in this section already. Um one guy qualified for Oak Hill for the PGA.
Yep.
And then Mike Small, as of yesterday, just qualified for the senior PGA.
He's qualified for so much stuff.
He's unbelievable. He just won
Yep.
like 7 of 8 senior section championships.
Is he still coach Illinois?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just unbelievable.
Yep.
I've only crossed paths with him one time, and it was when I was caddying for Billy in the a section event at Chicago Golf Club. They let us have a section event there, and it was sold out.
Wow.
It's the second the schedule dropped, it was sold
Oh
out.
yeah.
And he was finishing, and we were just getting there to warm up. But he's an absolute stick.
Yeah. That's how the mid-am qualifier at the Country Club of Buffalo was this year. It filled up in like a half hour, I think.
Yeah.
So
And unless you see the schedule right away, some of those big events, you're unfortunately waiting. So
yeah. Oh, I set a reminder 10 minutes before the window opened to make sure I was on there right away.
yeah.
That's what you got to do. So
Um, we were talking earlier about the Buffalo Sabres. I did want to just bring up the fact that we just did shut out the Colorado Avalanche the other night.
yep. I watched it yesterday.
I know that must have been painful, but
Not at all. Feel great about our team this year.
now you guys are already good. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, what year did you guys win it? The cup.
The year before last year.
Yeah,
So the 21-22 season.
yeah, yeah. Um, did you see, as a sidebar here, did you see the ex-Bruin player that was playing in a different league got cut with a skate and died?
That was pretty brutal.
Yeah, I didn't continue to watch the full video, but it looked like his foot went out to kick him.
That was not a hockey play.
No. And it obviously, I don't think he intended to cut him and kill him, but
Right.
he intended to kick him. It
Yes. Agreed.
it
He
was
wasn't trying to kill him, but he definitely,
was trying to,
that is not a normal motion for a hockey player.
even if you're falling and flailing through the air like that. I mean,
Right.
I've had my share on the pond, but it was,
Yes. Oh man.
it
Back
was
when we played pond hockey, every time Dan fell, the stick went flying. That's
yeah.
all I remember. The
When you
stick was just
just
gone.
don't have pads, it hurts so bad to fall on ice, and I would just
Yep.
protect myself. I used to
Yep.
love playing pond hockey and going over and shoveling and freezing it and everything.
Right in
Uh,
your development. It's
yeah,
perfect.
Joey lives right next to it now.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, Brad, you grew up playing a lot of travel hockey, and
Yes.
did you play on the same team as um His brother's on the Flyers now.
No, they were much younger.
They both were?
Farabee.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joel, yeah, his brother was younger than us.
Jake was at least 3 years younger, and
Uh,
Joel was even younger
yeah,
than
he was
him.
even
So
younger.
yeah, no,
I remember
I
you
play with them.
telling me these like awards and MVPs he was winning all over in like Canadian tournaments and stuff.
Yeah,
It was wild, but
yeah, yeah. I mean, when you make the NHL, most of the time it's pretty clear from a young age that you're different. There's some late bloomers, but most of the time it's like, okay,
yeah,
this kid's different than the rest of them,
yeah. I
or
uh
most of them at least.
I can remember coming to your hockey games for the school team and just our corner section standing on the
Yep,
seats just laying into the refs and the other team. Just
that's
going.
what we needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, it was great.
Oh, I had
High school sports, man.
oh yeah. There was a stint when um I can remember, I think you guys were playing FM, which they played at the same rink, right? Except
Yep.
on the other side. And I can
Yep.
just remember some bad calls, and I would stand up, and it was in my time where I was obsessed with the line, just give him the trophy.
Yep.
So I'm standing on above the glass, just screaming at the ref, why don't you just give him the trophy? And, oh man, I used to love
Oh man.
those games. Oh, high school sports were the greatest.
Yep.
They were the best. The
I
whole
remember going to the football games, listening to our buddy Mitch scream at our coach about burning timeouts. You remember that? That was pretty funny.
oh yeah, high school was the best
Uh,
with with that, and then growing up going to Z's soccer games when when we didn't have a tournament ourselves.
yep.
Um, what other sports did well, we played lacrosse, and then once we stopped playing lacrosse, I stopped as a junior, uh,
I stopped as a sophomore.
sophomore. Yeah,
Yep. So
I
that was the
loved
end of
it.
that.
I I wish I wanted. I wish I kept going, but there's a part of me that just wanted to like just focus on going and playing golf in the spring and not dealing with.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to practice and run. I wanted to go to the golf course.
Yeah, like you'd start in February inside, then you'd be
Yep.
outside shoveling the turf and running around and
Freezing.
freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was just getting off hockey season. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
yeah,
Give me a little break, and then let me just go play some golf.
yeah. I
So,
still one day with I if I have kids, hopefully they'll play it because I still love it.
oh
Just
yeah.
the Michaels game at Binghamton. That was a
Yep.
blast.
I remember going to that.
Um,
Yep. That was fun. And now here we are. And just a message. I'm sure every adult knows this, but when you get older, you just don't see your friends as much, and it just sucks. I mean, I remember high school, we're playing golf every day, we're playing Xbox together all the time, doing the pizza and wing draft.
yeah.
And we'll tell that real quickly. So there
Yeah.
was a place called Nino's Pizza right in Cicero, right where we lived, and they had the best boneless wings ever. So Dan and I would get a large pizza and 12 boneless wings, and we had the pizza and the wing draft. So one of us would get the first pick of piece of pizza, and we would alternate picks, and then the other person would get the first pick of boneless wings, and we'd alternate those, and then we had 3 napkins. We'd each get a napkin, and there was the wild card napkin.
These
So
wings, though, they weren't just like these little
oh,
chunks. And they
they're
weren't like
huge.
chicken tenders, but they were like these thick wings, and the sauce was unbelievable.
They were the best boneless wings, and they were not that crispy either.
No, and they
It
were
was
like
mostly wing.
tender.
It was mostly chicken. There wasn't a lot of breading.
Yeah, I don't know what they did, and apparently, they went out of business, but
Ah, sad.
honestly, one of the best pizza and wing combos
It was.
in the
Oh,
area.
we got it all the time, almost once
Yeah.
a week,
Where do you go now?
all over the place. There's the pizza and wings in Central New York is phenomenal. I mean, it's
Yeah.
so good. It's almost the mecca because you got we're right in between Buffalo, which is
Yeah.
the wing mecca, and New York City is the pizza mecca. So we kind of have both worlds here,
Yeah.
and it's as good as it gets around here. So
Yeah.
one
Um,
positive there.
the when I was at Z's wedding, my brothers were asking him where he thinks the best pizza in the area is, and he said a place in Central Square, or not Central Square, in Brewerton, and it's right like across the bridge. It's like right near the lake and the river.
Mhm.
Um, I forget the name of it. We'll have to ask him when I come home for Christmas again.
Yeah,
Uh,
I might have to try it. I don't think I've ever had it.
we'll have to get it. I don't know if it was called like Rosie's or something. He said it was an easily like an eight something. And
Okay.
yeah, and Joey, Joey's friend who lives in that area too, verified it. So
Okay. That's
you
always key.
you might need to take a little bit of a drive from Liverpool and
Can do that.
go try it.
Yeah, a
But
couple of my favorites are Pavone's and Lakeshore Pizza. Those are both real good.
where's Lakeshore Pizza? Is it right near?
Right near the fire department, right down the court street from the course.
Down. Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember if we were on 31 or if it was on Lakeshore.
Yep. Both outstanding.
Yeah,
So
we used to go to Twin Trees a lot.
yep.
They
That's
were,
still when you go there, the product is so good
yeah. You have to
when you
go.
eat it when you eat it there. Yep. When
You
it's
have to
fresh.
go
It's
there.
awesome.
The wings are great there.
Yep.
Uh,
The wings are spotty when you get takeout or get delivery.
mhm.
So
The
yeah.
key, I don't know if you know this, the key is to get them out right away, get them out of the foam thing, dump them in a bowl, dump the sauce on them so that at least the like moisture can get out of there.
Okay. Never
Learn that,
tried that.
learn that trick. Get them out of the
Nice.
thing right away.
Nice. All right.
Learn that from Michael actually.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, we used to go all over. Which one did we go to? Did we go to Anchor Bar or
We
uh,
went to Anchor Bar when we went to the Sabres game together.
Yeah.
Yep.
God, we would have pizza and wings anywhere.
Ah, man, we lived on them back then.
I know. I wish I could. I wish I still could.
I know.
It is not the same, and we're only 31. Or wait a minute. You're almost
I got a few days left.
you do. I just as soon as I said that, I was like, wait, we're not almost there.
Yeah, I got a few days left. So
Yep. It's going quick. I need to get,
every month flies by.
I know. I know. The fact that the wedding was here so quickly, even though it
I
was a
know.
year of planning, I mean,
That was a blast, man.
that was fun. It was so much
It
fun.
was a great weekend.
I'm glad Joe
You're
wanted to come just to have everyone there.
yeah, it was really nice.
Uh,
And the man, I'm telling you, your guys' vows, you talked about it with Jackie last episode, but I started tearing up when you guys were doing the vows. That was emotional. That was emotional.
I it was wild. I didn't think that I was going to get that choked up. Like I was like, I got this. Like, yes, it's sappy, it's emotional, but I'll be able to say it. Like, in
Yeah,
my head, I was practicing a little bit, days leading up. Um, but there was something about like when she walked down the aisle, I I wasn't even thinking about like
just just
her.
happens.
It just happened, and then I
Yeah.
was getting to read my vows, I was like, oh crap, I'm going first. And so as soon as I got like first little section was easy. And then as soon as I was kind of like reading the next paragraph or whatever in my head. When I saw it, I was like, it's about her. And when I looked up, I was like, oh crap. Like I can't.
Oh man, yeah, here we go.
But yeah, that was interesting. And but it was kind of nice to write your vows.
Yeah,
Because we're gonna eventually go back to Sacred Heart and get um the sacrament and do it all there. Um,
nice.
but when my brothers found out that we wrote our own vows, they were like, "Oh boy!" Like anyone they've been to, they think it's like cringy, and I get it. But we wanted to make our vows not cheesy. We wanted to make them like I don't want to say feel like an adult, but like I'm telling you things, you're telling me things, and we're making vows and promises. It's not like we didn't want it to make it sound like a love letter.
Yeah, and it didn't come off that way at all. They were really good. Very,
Right.
very touching.
Yeah. Because nobody wants to hear a love letter. And to be quite honest, you want to actually have we looked it up on like how to make good vows to actually have vows in there. Like some people just write this love letter and I'm
Yeah,
like, no, I'm not doing that. I was like, that defeats the purpose of like, like we said, I promise to do this. I promise, and we came up with our own things, but yeah, I didn't think I was gonna break down the way I did.
yeah. That's understandable. It's a
Yeah,
big day.
yeah,
So
we just gotta get.
you guys looked super happy. So
Yeah,
I was so happy to be a part of it. I'm so glad you asked me.
I
So it was
appreciate you
great.
coming.
Of
Uh,
course.
I gotta send you some of the photo booth pictures. I didn't realize you and Johanna went over there. You guys had some good ones.
Yeah, we did. I think we did it twice.
Yeah, yeah.
We always hit the photo booth. We've been to 9 weddings in the last 2 years. We've hit the photo booth every time.
I've seen
So
you guys at a lot of.
yeah, all of our friends are getting married at the same time.
It's that time. Yeah, it's that time in
So
our lives.
it's that time in our lives. Yeah, man.
Gotta get you.
So
Gotta get you potentially on the.
yeah, I'm next. It seems like so.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
pressure. No
So
pressure. Uh,
yeah,
but no, this was good. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. This
I
was
appreciate you
great.
having me, man. This is great.
You'll
My
definitely get another invite because we can talk golf for hours. We used to talk
I was
golf.
gonna say, like, if you guys are doing like, like
Oh,
hey, I can hear you. Just can't see
oh,
you.
there we go. It's still recording, I think. Uh,
Okay. Well, we're wrapping up. If we need to re-record the outro here, we can.
yeah. Is your camera coming back?
I can see myself. I can't see you,
That's weird. I can't
but I
see.
can hear you.
I can see myself. Um, well, anyways, if we need to re-record the outro, we will. But I appreciate you being on here. Like I said, you'll be a staple here because we could talk golf for hours,
Oh,
and even with non-golf talk, we can talk other sports or anything for hours. So
yeah, I can't believe we've already done over an hour. It goes by so fast. I can see you now, by the way, but
yeah,
it goes by so fast. Yeah, man, like I always willing to come back on if you're gonna do like I was saying before, like oh, just got the recording in progress. So
oh yeah,
maybe we might have missed the last 2 minutes. But
I'll
anyways,
check
like
it out.
yeah, I'd be always happy to come back on. Like I was saying, even if you're gonna do like a Masters preview show or you just want to talk
Ooh,
like really golf nerd stuff, like technique and how you taught me to throw out of bunkers and
yeah,
stuff like that. Like I'm always down to talk about any of that. If you just want to talk about sports, whatever, yeah, always willing to come back on
happy to.
because
That's a good idea.
we've had many 3 hour phone calls just talking about golf technique and one plane versus two plane and
Oh yeah,
square face versus face rotation and dragging versus throwing, all that great stuff that
all the
you know that
technical
we
stuff.
love.
Yeah, We're
Yep.
golf nerds through and through.
Yep. And I just want to let you know I've spread the word of throwing to my people around here. So
I love it.
the awareness is at an all-time high in Central New York, I think. So I
Perfect.
got one quick thing to end on. My buddy that's in high school still. That's a really good player. I played around with him in a tournament last year, and he saw me kind of one hop, zip one, a little throw,
Yeah.
and he was talking about it with his friends after the round. Apparently, like, oh, like Brad's got this one stop, one hop and stop shot. I got to get it, whatever, blah blah. So it turns out we ended up at the next tournament a couple weeks later. We're on the putting green after the round, and I just kind of ended up talking to him and a couple of his buddies, and ended up kind of showing them the technique. And now this dude just throws it all over the place around the greens and prep.
All right, you can
We're back.
finish that up. So you're saying you got your buddy throwing it, and now he's zipping them?
Oh yeah, he loves it. He's a short game junkie like we are, so he loves
Is
to
he?
practice. Earlier this year, he was throwing it with a 4-iron green side.
I
Just
love that. I
holding the
love
club.
short game.
He had the handle so low to get it nice and flat so that he could slide it right underneath it, and he's throwing 4-irons green side. So yeah, he's totally into it. But
I love it.
that was it for that story. So
Tell him and his buddies and whoever to follow me on Instagram and YouTube. Send them this, and because even if they want to come on and talk about that stuff, or if they want to reach out to me to do online lessons or anything, happy to help them.
Yeah. Do you ever post like little tutorials, a short game or anything like that?
Oh yeah. So I don't know if you've been on my YouTube. I've been doing short clips of it. I'm going to do monthly clips that are longer than. So I have a segment called the Golf Minute, which is just a minute tip, quick, short, bite-size info, and then I have a monthly tip that I do where it's like 3-4 minutes, a little more explanation, and I have the podcast, and then I'll do some vlog things because I'm thinking about going to get fit at the TaylorMade Kingdom. I'll vlog that. I'll do some indoor lesson stuff. But yeah, if they want any topics that are covered, let them know and follow me or subscribe. I'll do the videos and help them out any way they need.
Could do a pod. I got two friends in mind that are younger. Bring them both on with you and me. Just nerd out.
They can ask me any questions they want.
Yep. One of them plays D2 at Palm Beach Atlantic, and another one is,
nice.
Like I said, still in high school, but he's looking at some nice D1 places. So he's got a lot of game.
Yeah.
So
it'd be awesome.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you having me on. Hopefully do it again soon.
Absolutely. We will see you soon.
Yeah. Take it easy.
Right. We'll see you.
Yep. Bye.